Hello and welcome to Breakfast All Day. I'm Christy. That is Matt. That is Alonso. We are all here to talk about this really badass movie on Netflix called The Old Guard, which is based on a graphic novel that I had not read or heard of. Matt, had you or Alonso?
Not till this movie came out, and I'm about halfway through it.
Oh, is it cool?
It is pretty cool, and it's very, at least a lot of the dialogue is recreated exactly in this movie.
Well, Greg Rucka, who wrote the comic book, also did the script, so
yes,
I'm sure he's attached to a lot of that stuff. And I know his work, I just didn't know this one.
Yeah. All right. So The Old Guard tells us the story of Andy, who is a mercenary played by Charlize Theron. She leads a crew of three other mercs as they take jobs that they only really kind of feel a certain, vibe for, that they think is going to be something, that adds good to the world. They go back to a previous contact, which they're all very, very sketchy about. Former CIA agent played by Chiwetel Ejiofor. And then it turns out that job is a little bit not what they bargained for, but it doesn't matter because they are unstoppable, literally. And then it turns out there's somebody else that's kind of like them, and we come to find out, and I'm not really giving anything away because it's all in the trailer. They are functionally immortal, can heal from anything. It's like having a bunch of Wolverines around, maybe without the blades in their hands and the steel skeleton, but basically they kind of come back from anything. Right. So Charlize Theron's original name is Andromache.
Andromache the Scythian.
Andromache of Scythia. I looked that up. That was the name of one of the Amazons way back. This movie
That's probably what she actually is.
Right. This movie is terrific, and it's directed, and I'm somewhat surprised showing her range here, directed by Gina Prince-Bythewood.
Yeah.
Who had
GPB.
She's not really done action like this. So the action in this is terrific. Really well staged, really exciting. The movie moves along. It's a tense action thriller. It really just keeps, it doesn't really ever slow down. It gives you just enough. And the thing that I was most surprised by, and sitting down, looking at this trailer and thinking what the pitch is like, oh yeah, a bunch of immortal warriors and they find a new one and they got to kick everyone's ass. And it's like, all right, this is going to be schlocky fun. And I hadn't really realized that Prince-Bythewood had directed this. This movie is emotionally moving in a way that I hadn't expected at all. This movie is terrific. I was super, super impressed. You get to know the characters. You kind of see what's going on with them. Charlize Theron is just perfect in this. I almost can't think of someone who would be better suited to do a role like this. She's got this world-weary presence that fits, and as do the rest of them, as does everybody on her team. KiKi Layne, relative newcomer, plays... I can't remember the character's name.
Niall. She was the co-star of If Beale Street Could Talk.
Right.
Yeah. She's terrific in this. Absolutely holds her own with the rest of this cast. Ejiofor rises to the occasion like he always does. He's so good in this. The guy that played the Dursley brother, Harry Potter's Dudley stepbrother, is in this.
Harry Melling.
Harry Melling. He's both ridiculous and menacing. I loved this movie. I was really impressed.
Yeah, Gina always works with the same DP, the same editor. And so if you look, or from Beyond the Lights, at least, is the same folks who worked on that with her. And which, Beyond the Lights is a beautifully, beautifully shot film. And Tara Lynn Shropshire is her longtime editor. So that's, why this moves so well. But also Gina really takes the time to let us get into the action sequences and let us, get immersed in the choreography of it. And it's not like pew, 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 like quick edits. Like you've got someone like Charlize Theron who can do that kind of action. Like this is, the same intensity and complexity as Atomic Blonde, and she can do that. Let her do that, and they really do.
Right.
But
Let's
you're right.
show
There's
it,
also
right?
but there's also like there's so much emotion here, and there's this, it's not just the gimmick of, oh, we can never die, although the way that manifests itself is constantly fascinating. But there's also like real emotional stakes to the fact that they can never die, and what that means for the people that they leave behind, and what that means for the loneliness that they experience. And one of the running bits in this is that Andy will never say how old she is. You know, it's got to be hundreds of years, if not like 1,000. But like she won't say, and it's just like
You never ask a woman.
right. It's improper. But there's like a constant looking forward, like not wanting to dwell in the past, and there's a sadness about that.
Right. I mean, the rest of them are all so much younger than she is, right? Like they're all from, you know, a couple of it. I mean, there's the two guys from the Crusades,
right?
And then there's the other one who played by
Matthias Skinnertz.
Matthias Skinnertz. That's all.
Who's a little bit, who I think who's a little bit younger than, you know, he's probably what, 400 years old, maybe 300. But if she's named, you know, if she's the Amazon, that would make her literally thousands of years old, right? I mean, you're looking at 2,000 to 3,000, if not farther than that, BC. You know, and so when you hear about somebody from her past, who she lost, and it's horrifying, right? It's but yeah, there's so much going on, and you know, there's real stakes, right? In a lot of action movies, it's just like, oh yeah, what's going on? Like, you really, one of the great things about this, and it's, you know, measure of where Rucka is as a writer, is that you do learn somewhat of who these characters are, and between that and the direction, you know, and the performances, you do feel that there are things at stake. And you know, I love the two guys that started out as combatants in the Crusades, and they're now a couple, you know, and the movie doesn't make a big deal out of that. It's just like, yeah, these guys are together
for centuries.
And it doesn't fall into the kill your gays trope. Like, it stays out of all that stuff. Right. For the most part, like,
no, it's very, that's exceptionally well handled. I mean, we were talking about this in regards to Palm Springs, because they're both movies about characters that don't die. But it also, what I think they have in common is that you go in kind of expecting a certain kind of genre movie, and then it really upends that by being just sort of smart and well written. So, like, you know, when I'm seeing, you know, the crack squad go in on the you know, mission that turns out to be a setup, it's like, seen this before. But then, like, it totally goes into all these other directions that are brand new and interesting and different, and it is so well crafted by Prince-Bythewood and her team, but also it's so well acted and so well written, that it just becomes very much its own thing, and always really interesting. And as a movie that is clearly designed to be a tentpole, it does that very well. It threads through the things where, like, oh, I want to see how that turns out. Oh, I want to come back for another adventure of this guy. Oh, I want to see how this is going to resolve. So, you know, we've seen a lot of people try to do this level of franchise world building in recent years and have it be really hard to sit through. But this is how you do it right.
They do it very efficiently, right? Think about how many movies we watch where it just gets bogged down in explaining its own mythology, and they very quickly and easily and believably explain how it is that they all have this thing, and how it is that KiKi Layne gets this thing, and how they all find each other.
Like, but they also kind of don't get too far into, like, what's causing it. Right.
The weeds, like, because who cares?
Right. It's just like, yeah, this is a thing, and we just kind of deal with it. Right.
And the effects are really good too. The special effects, as far as like the healing that you see, I was really impressed with how seamless that all looked.
Yeah. For sure. I will absolutely watch another one of these movies, please. You're right.
Yeah.
But, like, if we're going to get a whole bunch of blank has fallen movies,
yes,
could we at least get more of these? Like,
And I think in the same way that Charlize Theron is somebody who you can turn to for like serious dramatic work and very capable comedy work and like, really exciting, physical action stuff. Prince-Bythewood is now getting her chance to be like, you know what? Yes, I can do a rom-com. I can do a drama. I can also do this. So why not let me do this? Because I can do it really well.
A woman of color and a badass. And one of my favorite interviews. She's a sweetheart. She's really smart and really cool. Okay, I'm saying 8.
I said 7.5.
What did I say? 9?
8 at 9.5.
9.5. Yeah.
Okay.
9.5.
8.3.
Awesome.
It's just fucking awesome.
A lot of fun.
8.3 is our number.
So it's on Netflix. Check it out. And thanks for checking us out. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us at BeFastAllDay on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/BeFastAllDay. We've got lots of exclusive content for our subscribers. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.